Okay, so let's talk about something we've all been through, but we often try to hide it, and that's crying. It can feel awkward, right? A little embarrassing, maybe even shameful. But what if everything we've been taught to believe about tears is just completely wrong? Let's get into it. I mean, come on, we've all heard some version of this, haven't we? Stop crying. Don't be a baby. You gotta toughen up. It's a message that gets hammered into us from when we're super young, and it really sinks in. It teaches us that there's something fundamentally wrong with this totally natural, totally human reaction.
And that really brings us to the core question we're going to tackle here. For centuries, society has pretty much landed on one answer: weakness. But today, we're going to challenge that idea. We're going to look at tears through a completely different lens, one that sees them not as some kind of liability, but as a hidden power. First, to really get where we're going, we have to be honest about where we've been. And for a long, long time, that's been a place where crying is just heavily stigmatized. It's weighed down by so much cultural baggage. Yeah, these labels probably look pretty familiar, right? We see someone cry, and our first, almost programmed reaction is to think it's a sign of fragility or a total loss of control. It gets written off as messy, unprofessional, and, at the end of the day, weak. And look, these aren't just words, they're judgments. They can make us feel so isolated and ashamed. And if you're someone who cries easily, you've probably felt the full weight of these judgments your whole life.
So, okay, we've acknowledged that old school view. Now it's time to just dismantle it. Let's build a whole new perspective, a radical reframe, based on some really fascinating insights into what tears are actually all about. Just take a second and let that sink in. This is the big idea we're digging into. Not weakness, not fragility, but a rare kind of strength. This one sentence completely flips the script on everything we've been taught to believe about our own tears. So here it is. This is the transformation in our thinking. Where the old view saw weakness, the new view sees emotional strength. What we used to call fragility, we can now see as honesty. And what was dismissed as a lack of control, well, that's actually a sign of deep responsiveness. This isn't just playing with words. It's a fundamental shift in how we understand our emotional selves.
So how can this be true? I mean, what's the logic here? How can tears be a sign of fortitude? Well, it really comes down to two core concepts that completely change the game. So the first pillar is what we call emotional honesty. Think about it. It takes a huge amount of courage to let yourself actually feel something fully, especially when the world is constantly telling you to just bottle it up. Crying, when you look at it this way, isn't a failure of control. It's an act of incredible authenticity. And that honesty, that's the foundation of any real, genuine connection with other people. Okay, and the second pillar is having a highly responsive nervous system. This completely reframes sensitivity. It's not a weakness. It's like having a high-definition sensory system. People who cry easily aren't overly emotional. They're highly perceptive. Their systems are just more finely tuned to all the little subtleties of the world, both inside and out. They're picking up on things that other people might just miss completely. And this is the crucial distinction right here. A responsive system doesn't mean you're just getting overwhelmed all the time. It means you are deeply connected. It's like the difference between hearing a piece of music in mono versus hearing it in full immersive stereo. That connection is an incredible source of information, of empathy, and of creativity. So if we put all of this together, what does it actually mean for you? Especially if you're someone who's felt ashamed of your tears. Well, it means you might be sitting on a superpower you never even knew you had. So let's celebrate these strengths for a minute. If you cry easily, it's a sign that you are emotionally honest. It means you're highly perceptive and really in tune with the world. You're not just skimming the surface of life, you are processing experiences deeply. And above all, you are living authentically. These are not flaws that need to be fixed. They are valuable assets to be embraced. So look, here's the most important takeaway from all of this. Your tears are not some kind of character flaw. They are not a sign of weakness. They are simply data. That's it. They're just pure information, a signal from your highly responsive system that something, whether it's joy, sorrow, a piece of art, matters deeply to you. Your tears are a compass, and they're pointing directly at what you value most. And so I'll leave you with this final thought. You might have spent your entire life being told that your sensitivity is a problem, something you have to manage or get under control. But what if the exact opposite is true? What if that deep connection to the world, that emotional honesty, What if that's actually your greatest and most unique strength?